Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. My page is about common sense, but I try to keep it down under the nitty gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very important. And my videos are not important to liberals, libertarians, people who believe in God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT. Listener's discretion is advised. Yes. I'm cringy on purpose. Yes. Now, if you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down below. I'm the only indigo child with no sins on here. I mean, I'm not a sinner, but everybody sins. I keep saying that, okay? Just trying to be tactical. If you're a sinner, you keep making mistakes, and you never learn from it. All right? Okay, if you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down below. All right? Please read my credentials before you go aflow, okay? Your mouth go amok. Okay, you know, I'm the only Gen X on the internet right now. There's some guys on here who are beta trolls looking at me and they're old school and shit. Some of them think I'm a pimp or some shit. No, I'm not. I'm not. Just trying to help you people out, guys. And dudettes and everything in between and gals, okay? Please, listen to me. I talk about things that other guys don't talk about too much. Now, I'm going to tell you, this video is going to be about living in the U.S. versus living abroad, okay? And especially, I'm going to focus on Africa because I only travel to Africa, so I'm just going to talk specifically on Africa, all right? I lived in Gambia. I lived 2 years in Ethiopia, and I got the videos to prove it and back it up, unlike no other man, okay? You know, so I back up shit I say. I don't, I'm on PORNHUB, yep, and I'm on fans only. I am not a Christian or religious, but I do see the beauty in art. And I don't believe in a lot of different things a lot of people believe. That's why I don't go about the majority of masses fastest. I'm not a whoremonger. I don't have sex with women who are not virgins. Okay, because I lost my virginity when I was 38. All right, there we go. We got that out of the way. Okay, now we going. So let's get on with the topic for today. Today's topic will be about that. So let's compare apples to oranges. Oranges is living in Africa. And most of you guys don't really drink orange juice that much anyway. So it's kind of sour. Or you want to say apples to lemons, okay? You know, so you go outside the country. A lot of people keep talking and running their mouth. Oh, let's go to Africa. Go back to Africa. You're not going to want to live there or stay there. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck, okay? Like Tyreek Nashees be saying. Let's keep it a buck, man, you know. But please, okay, when you go to Africa, there is little shitholes on the ground. Especially if you leave out from the ghetto, I mean out from the city, the main capital, okay, of the country. Most of the time you're gonna find shitholes, okay? All right. I'm not gonna be talking about genetics because I'm not a racist, okay? I'm just trying to tell you, when you basically are going out further out, it's gonna take you hours to get to one destination and another. The roads are not smooth, okay? Your internet will be fucked up. The power will go off because I tried it in the Gambia. I tried it in Ethiopia. And it's probably like that all throughout Africa. Okay. I don't care what you have to say. If the power is going out, then those countries don't have enough knowledge or they don't have cooperation to work together for one another. If there's ever a billionaire in a particular African country, let me tell you something here. That means he's fraud. I'm sorry. If you have a billionaire who don't want to fix the infrastructure to make it like America's or like Chinese or Japan, and he don't want to invest his money in that particular country you're in. Now, I don't care where you're at. If you have a billionaire in your country and you're in Africa, he is a fraud. Okay, he does not care for the country. Trust me, he just doesn't. So in America, you get everything you need because it's so diverse and everything is flexible. Power doesn't really go out. It never really does. Okay, unless it's a thunderstorm or something like that, or it's a wind blizzard or something like that, or any European countries. Okay, so I see the word European countries, powers don't go out, but that's a big thing. Okay, also you don't drink the water in Africa. Never do that. Okay, all right, because in Ethiopia they have these calcified teeth, brown stuff like that. You know, they don't fix their water right. I always drunk bottled water. All right, when I was in Africa, the food, as a matter of fact, the most positive things about Africa is the heat, and the food is more natural. They're not sprayed in pesticides or chemicals and stuff like that. That's the bread. The food is naturally the natural size, and you will live longer because a lot of times the males over there are actually active. Women are not active in no country. Okay? I've never seen it before. As I said before, I tell women they always do what men do and try to be a tomboy, like what men like to do, so they can be fit. No, they don't want to listen to that. I'd give good advice to women and everything in between. So if you're a hermaphrodite or a tranny, you should come to me and talk to me. And I have a lot of clients, okay, who actually talk to me and tell me some shit, but you're not going to hear it on this internet because I like to do my shit in the background. I do have a Patreon. Check out my Patreon. Limited space now. I'm not like Kevin Samuels. I'm not greedy. The maximum I charge is $25 a month to actually have a Gen X to talk to you and counsel you, because I have people who I talk to who joined my Patreon and still is associated with me, even though they couldn't afford it. And they have a good friend and a good father that they never really had. All right, so I'm a great person to talk to. Just check out my bio down below. That no man can be those things. I'm just trying to make it clear that real alphas have credentials and they have backup. When you talking to other people, they won't have videos. It's all about riffraff and popularity. I don't do that. I am not interested in popularity or a fucking ambition. But I'm trying to tell you here, the difference between USA and the United and African countries is power outages. The food is tastier. It's warm out there. And that's all you're going to get. You can't use the internet that much. You can actually download games out there if you find an internet cafe, like I found out in Ethiopia. They call internet cafes, but it takes extremely long time. Extremely long time. Everything is cheap. All of the whores out there are cheap, okay? Night ladies, you want to call them. Ladies of the night. You can call them whatever you want to go. But other than that, everything is easy out there, okay? Everything's accessible. There's no gangs. So whenever you see something like a bunch of buffoonery with a whole bunch of Africans saying, we don't like this, don't worry, they're not going to do shit to you. They don't have the power. They don't have the time. They live very poor over there, okay? I'm not talking down in the countries. That's the day. In Ethiopia, they only make like 500 ETB a month. That's roughly like $100 a month, and that's sad. But other than that, yeah, it's probably the same way in Gambia. Gambia is a very small country, very, very small. So it's best to keep your news out from the media, because there'll be haters. There'll be guys who hate on Americans. Colorism, it does exist. Yes, I know what colorism is now. When blacks don't like each other because of the fact that the color, just because they're black, okay, and then it's just kind of racist. It's stupid, okay. Your life overall is just prejudiced and racist to me. I don't care how you name it and tag it, but you don't want to live in Africa. Trust me. A lot of you passport brothers out there don't understand, okay, that I'm not your average man. I'm not gonna be a man. Now, the porn I do is different. It's a fetish type of porn, by the way. All right, I don't use vaginas. I'm an inspector. I'm a gynecologist. I am things that women want me to be as they pay their general natural fee. But these days women are broke, so I don't really get into that. I'm doing everything virtually now. Everything is right through virtual. I do not meet women. I swear to God, you guys better stop it. When you're passport boys, and you go overseas, you'll notice that everything is pretty easier when it comes to finances. But you can't stay over there, because you can only stay over for about a month until you start crossing over into the dual citizenship. You cannot have dual citizenship in Ethiopia nor in the Gambia. I checked. Yeah. You want nice food, you got to cook it in your own apartment. Okay? It is better to rent than to own any property out there. Power goes out very often, maybe a few times a week. You have to go out your way just to go to an electric place just to keep the power on. Okay, all right. And when I was out there, I played a pretty penny just to keep power on. Okay, and I'm paying for this, and the power keeps going out. So I don't know why. Internet is bad as well. So if you're at America, it's at 100. Let's keep it real. Or Japan, it's at 100, or 110 in Japan, or Norway, okay, which they say they have 7G. You might as well just drop it down to 50%. When you arrive in an African continent, okay, airport, your internet's gonna be cut. Okay, you actually have to connect with AirTech or something like that, with their branch, in order to keep talking and shit. Your internet is completely. You got to use someone else's phone. Okay, my shit was just cut off. Okay. But you can connect your phone if you have a MiFi, okay, which you should purchase immediately. When you first go out there, I'm talking about Africa. If you first go out there, just immediately pay off your little dues and your fees. Have yourself backups with a backup card. Okay, you're gonna need that. Okay, you're gonna need backup. Okay, you're gonna have to pay your fees, transfer all your money from the airport because 9 times out of 10, if you go to the bank, they charge you a little bit more. So at the airport, I learned, okay, that they give you more money back for your bank. You got to do your due diligence in your research. You can't just go out there. You actually, if you ever go out to a country, you always have two plans. The plan A, you're going out there for some woman, and then also you have a plan when you actually meet up with the man or a guy. Okay, not for gay tendencies or homosexual tendencies, but you're gonna meet up with him so you can be friends. You should be compatriots with people, males in that country, just in case as a backup. Because you don't want to go there just to meet a female now. Some females are not good. Like the last time I went to the Gambia and this girl lied and said she was a virgin. She wasn't. I told her I'm a gynecologist. I'm going to find out. There are women who say they don't know what virginity is. Virginity means never touched by a man, or they stuck any toys in there, or have been raped. Any of these things that happen to you, you are no longer a virgin. But it's better to have a woman who lies, who's desperate, than a woman who basically tells the truth and actually fucking is basically terrible. She's a terrible person, individual. Like my ex-wife, okay, because she was a virgin. My ex-wife was a virgin, definitely. She had her father and everything. But the problem is that she got corrupted when I brought her back into America, even though everybody told me not to bring her back. But I brought her because I wanted some money, okay, because that's the only way I can win and show her my raison d'etre, okay, she thought the courts would help her, and people think I'm a narcissist. I don't give a fuck what they think. They don't know me, okay, and other than that, she losing, okay, she's about to be kicked out now. I'm trying to keep her on her feet, but I can't, okay, too long, okay, her rent is behind now. She just got hired at a job, and then she quit her job. She's getting lazy, women will get lazy when they get here, so never bring them back. Stop it, guys. Don't bring them back. Let's pay off the things that bring the child back. As a matter of fact, if you have stable income, bring the child back. Whenever the child is like probably 5 years old, after 5, you can actually file it. Make sure that when you go to a country and a child is born abroad, okay, as you are a U.S. citizen, okay, make sure you turn over that paper because their side is completely whacked, okay, but there's an English side to the paper. And if the child is born under wedlock, you can sign that paper. For that, you take the baby because you can benefit more, especially if you're getting disability, okay, or you get SNAP benefits, and you can actually be a public charge, just like a lot of women do. Because a lot of guys aren't public charges like women are, okay, And I need you guys to step up the game and stop talking about the matriarch. Don't talk about the matriarch, especially when you don't know how to use the matriarch. A lot of women don't have any knowledge, so they just run to a lawyer or some shit like that. So you guys can do better than that. Do what 50 Cent did, okay? He reduced his child support by at least about 75%. Come on now, guys. Just read up on some law shit so you can protect yourself against paternity fraud and also women trying to squeeze you for something that you don't even have, okay? Because you can't go to jail if she start filing shit. If she start calling up, they're gonna chase you, man, to the ends of the earth, man. I do that to my ex-wife. I told her, hey, they're gonna chase you. You gonna pay that child support to me. There's guys who get alimony and child support, okay? Look at Wendy Williams, okay? Her boyfriend or so-called ex, squeezed the shit out of her, lemons and shit like that. But she had to get another lawyer to actually help him so he can get kicked off of her alimony. You guys can get alimony and child support just like women can. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I don't play that shit with women. I say, hey, any female I dealt with, it's either artificial insemination and I'm signing some paperwork with a notary, okay, a sheriff. I'll make sure. But I'm going to be far away as possible so she can't blame me or have any evidence to pull me down. No, I'm not dealing with that. That's a liability waiting to happen. But please, guys, the difference between living in the U.S. and living in Africa is cakewalk. It's this: if you got the money, you go. You don't got the money, you stay. But the problem is that you cannot overstay your welcome. I'm just gonna tell you this right now, because what happened is that when I tried to return home after 2 years, I didn't know nothing about statute of limitation of being in the country. I didn't know about that. They literally stopped my ticket. I had the paid ticket. I had a paid ticket, and they said, no, you got to go to court. I said, and my ex was like, yeah. I was in Ethiopia when I was about to return back home. After my Holy Spirit told me it's time to go back home, I was like, I didn't want to go back. I really didn't want to come back. They said that probably that was the reason why. Also, because I could have been thrown in jail. You can't have adult citizenship out there, guys. You cannot stay out there. If you see any guy saying, "Oh, I'm living out here," no, he can't. He have to give up his U.S. citizen to be out there, and that's not happening. He's not going to do that. Okay, but anyway, that's all I really want to say about U.S. versus Africa and certain African countries. Okay, the continent of Africa is basically a continent, but those little pockets, which are supposed to be states, are actually countries. Did you know that? The United States have cities and states, okay, which is the full called the United States. This one state is like a country in Africa. Think about it like that, okay? Yeah, think about it like that. Think about the power and scope of that knowledge there, okay? But other than that, that's all I really got to say about USA versus African countries. I lived there, and I'm going to tell you right now, you'll like it if you like heat, you like working out, you like playing games, okay? You like peace, okay? You'll like it, but you cannot stay out there past your welcome, which is about 1 month, okay, about that. All right, other than that, okay, that's the only thing I got to say about Africa. You know, the food is good, okay, but sometimes it could be chewy or gamey. Okay, you literally got to cook in your own rental apartment. Trust me, you'll be cooking in your own rental apartment. And as I said before, you know how to contact me if you want to go out with somebody. You got the money, we can all go together on your ticket, on your meal, and then I can tell you and talk to you, and I can tell you what I did in my situation. As I'm always looking for virgin wives, okay? I don't play that with women. But once a woman tells me she's not a virgin, she's already belonged to the streets. I don't care if she has a father. It's done. It's a done deal. As a matter of fact, that's the third option right there. After she says she accepts polygyny, after she says she is a virgin, I'm looking for the father because I'm not afraid of the father. The father's going to like me. I know he is. Plenty of fathers love me. When I meet them, I never have any arguments. I say, but I usually tell the father I believe in polygyny. Okay, and I don't talk to white women that much. Okay, I just know that if you living in America and you don't believe in polygyny, and you're black, okay, it's not gonna work. I'm like, I tell you straight up who I am and what I'm looking for. Once your daughter disrespects me, I disown her. Okay, if you didn't train your daughter, she's out. What do you call it? Prenup. Okay, I sign prenups, baby. I give you as the father a gift for your daughter. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's how it should be. It's traditional. When you know your daughter's corrupted, and there's fathers out there who will literally tell on their own daughters and say, "Hey, my daughter is not right, and you should do the same because you did try to teach your daughters." But that's another video for another day, and I'm talking for 17 minutes. Don't go to Africa thinking you're gonna live out there. Don't go to Africa thinking that your chances are high to meet virgins. Don't go out there to Africa thinking your chances are high to meet polygynous women, which is the true tradition of men and women, because women are not supposed to be selfish. I teach my daughters about polygyny versus monogamy. I teach them about getting approval before certain things get to their head. You got to teach them that early or they'll end up dead or for the streets. Peace.